Alright, time to discuss the new meta. You can see my face. I saw Whis and I was like, oh man, this is gonna be tough. The reason why Whis is so tough is because he has regeneration. And with the nerf to Zebra Stashing, it's a lot harder to close the distance and stop him from using regeneration. And his auto dodge is pretty crazy. So my goal here is to damage him enough to the point where he switches out his Whis and then hope that I could down his other characters. That is my strategy. My goal is not to transform with Gohan, although that would be the ideal. I need all the skill points I can get to defeat this. Like 10 DP characters now feel like a final boss. They were already pretty difficult to get around previously, right? If you face someone who was good and used a 10 DP character and before this patch, it was still very difficult to get around 10 DP characters. But you can see just how much damage Whis is doing to me. It's insane. The amount of people who have been super countering me first hit is kind of crazy. It's impressive. Okay, he has enough for a regeneration. This is going to be scary now. I have to be smart with my ki. I have to make sure I have more than 2 ki bars to spare. Close the distance with a lightning strike attack. Make sure he's always close. I knew he was going to do a quick recovery, so then I'd do a short dash attack on him and stop him from doing it. And that's unfortunate. I thought that super would hit. He's going to have enough for a regeneration. That thing goes off so quickly. It goes off so quickly. And he has enough. He almost has enough for another regeneration. This super, I don't know if this is vanishable, this super. I've never vanished this super in my life. I don't know what the window is to vanish that. I'm going to have to practice vanishing that because I think Whis is going to be the new meta. Best thing for me to do is just vanish that low sweep people do to set up the super. But Zarbon just came in nearly dead. He has enough for another regeneration. I have to be smart with my ki. Doesn't matter that I'm smart with my ki. Because of his regeneration, it makes it feel like there's 2 Whis on the team. And that's a weird glitch. Like that glitch was happening all throughout the tournament as well. So I'm surprised they didn't address that. They did address a lot of other glitches, so that's great. I'm happy they addressed all the other glitches. Yep, he wasn't expecting me to have to use my Zebra Stash. People have been super countering my gut punches and low sweeps a lot too. It's kind of crazy. Okay, I successfully got him to switch his Whis out. If anything, he probably could have kept his Whis in until he downed a character and probably would have won the game. I'll get a super counter off. Lightning strike attack to keep in the engagement. Too bad we're a little far from the ground. If I'm high in the sky, maybe I should just do a follow-up and then knock him closer to the ground and then use a lightning strike attack. That way we could keep engaged. How are you guys feeling about the sidestepping? I don't know how I feel about it. It's pretty annoying, if I'm being honest. I feel like it's more annoying than perception spammers. I think I don't know, maybe it's because I still haven't figured it out. I feel like sidestepping is a lot harder to counter than perception spamming. Like you see that, it's crazy how many times I'm getting super countered for my gut punches, my low sweeps, my lift strikes, my follow-up attacks. Just initial attacks are getting super countered like crazy. I should really work on a switch here. Damn, that sidestep is crazy. Yep, that's exactly what I do. I disengage. It's very easy to disengage. A lot of people tell me, oh, it's not. It's just, oh, we're all about throwing hands. It's just like, no. Luckily, Abe over here, he's not really all about disengaging, right? So props to him. Although Whis is a very, very strong character. He's like the new. He's like probably the strongest meta out right now until someone discovers more, right? But if Abe wanted to, he could have just kept me back with Whis and then spam regeneration. But he knows Whis could just do like 20k damage in one combo. So why stay back? Well, there is a perfectly valid reason to stay back, and that's because Ki Blast could do just as much damage and are safer. And then he could just set up a regeneration. His Master Roshi's putting the moves on me. False Courage is up. Hit him with the low sweep. Switch in his face. If you didn't notice, switching makes you spawn like at an angle from them now. So you can't just switch in and hold perception, which a lot of people did, including myself. And I started to adapt to what people would do when they switch. They would switch in, hold the perception, and then I'd stop and then catch them with Ki Blasts. But now it's like kind of you guys get set back at neutral after when you guys switch in, which I guess is good because that's what most fighting games do. He has enough skill points for a regeneration. I switch to close the distance, and yep, I block the follow-up. He gets another Sonic Sway. I get frustrated at that. I block it again. He gets a perception off on me. The auto dodge goes. He tries to grab me. I deflect it. He vanishes me. He gets me with a low sweep. He uses a super on me. He's gonna set it up now. Not a great idea. He got a lot happened there. But I downed his Whis, and I think I should win the game from here. I do a risky Z-Burst dash, it pays off. Yeah, if you successfully hit someone with a hard knockdown and you charge a lot, you could charge a lot of ki during that time, and then you'll have enough resources for a Z-Burst dash and even more for that. But damn, False Courage really reduces a lot of damage. And it ends in a timeout. I win, luckily. That was a nerve-wracking win for me. I'm not sure of the win conditions, but a lot of people complained about timeouts before this update. And the reason why things would go to a timeout is because the health regeneration was crazy when you switch out your character, and Vanish Wars took forever. Now they made Vanish Wars go by much quicker, and you don't regenerate as much health, but games still end in a timeout. How? It's because the gameplay is so much more passive now. And people disagree with me that the game is not passive anymore. It's very passive. It's even more passive now, and that's why games still end in timeout. Because like, I'm open to someone telling me why my games still end in a timeout, despite them changing the two most time-consuming things that was before this update, which was Vanish Wars and health regen from switching. The reason why games still end in a timeout is because we spend a lot of time in neutral. It's very difficult to engage. But here is Elwa. He's a viewer of mine, one of the best players I've went against. He is top 100 in Z rank. I told him, cheese me as hard as you can. We're playing player match, it doesn't matter. Cheese me as hard as you can, do everything. Use the health bar glitch at the last 60 seconds, do everything you can to cheese me out. I want to see if I could counter it. I get the first engagement, luckily, because I need every engagement I can get. I'm trying to use the high-speed Dragon Dash, as you see. And MUI Goku's Ki Blast is just too strong. It knocks me out of it. Elwa is smart. He knows to knock back my my charged Ki Blast. I'm trying to dodge all of this. You can see how quick it is. Wow, risky Z-Burst dash, but then my combo doesn't connect. It would have been a good Z-Burst dash if my combo connected. But oh well, it is what it is. I'm trying my best to approach. But that charged Ki Blast goes so quickly. And a lot of people say this is neutral game, right? Oh, this is neutral game. This is just neutral game. It's neutral game, but it's too strong. That's the thing. And he already got instant sparking. And I really should have vanished that. I think they slowed the ultimates and supers, so my timing on vanishing is pretty bad. You can see me mashing revenge counter. Really bad idea. I don't know why, because I'm gonna get locked off and I'm not gonna hit him. So I don't know why I was mashing revenge counter. I'm stupid for that.
Please let me lock on.
And he's able to charge back into sparking mode because of that dumb choice. But who knows? Maybe he would have still been able to charge into sparking mode. Even if I didn't use a revenge counter. Okay, I get a good switch off. I gotta get used to moving around while deflecting Ki Blasts. But but I don't think that would really make a difference. Wild Sense saves me there. I do another risky Zebra Stash. You just have to do risks, right? I cannot outzone him.
See, the thing with this type of
And look how hard
counter-
Trunks' Ki Blast tracks me. I can't get
A lot
enough
of people
Ki.
hated the health regen from the switching that we got. Look how hard that.
I can't get enough Ki. People say, oh, just charge your Ki.
Stopped this kind of
But you just get outzoned. You get outclassed by Trunks and MUI Goku. And people will say, oh, use instant transmission. You're spending 2 skill points. Your skill points are really important,
whatever.
right?
I'm just gonna get
If anything, skill points are more important than Ki. So when you're spending 2 skill points just to close the distance, that's a massive risk. That's even riskier than using 2 Ki bars. So yeah, if you use instant transmission, spend 2 skill points, and then end up getting super countered, it's a massive punch in the gut. But hey, it could work. I'm not doing it though. Maybe I should have used a character with instant transmission and see how that does. But you could see how Elwa is just refusing to engage with me. And like I said, I told him to try and cheese me out.
Yep. People
And Elwa could throw hands. So if you're going against a player like this who just doesn't want to engage, knocks you back, zones you out, tries to go to sparking mode,
see how Zebra stashing was my best chance at closing the distance.
okay, I'm trying to zone him out. I'm successfully getting it. The switch dodges that. That was a good attempt with the Zebra Stash. I was a little too aggressive. And oh my god, MUI Goku just does so much damage in the knockback chains. Okay, I got him with the Zebra Stash. You can see Zebra Stashing is my best chance at stopping this. I set up my instant spark. MUI Goku's standing charged Ki Blast goes through instant spark, so you're not immune to that one Ki Blast. Same with, I don't know if they changed Trunks' charged Ki Blast. I know it used to go through instant spark. I don't know if they changed it. Okay, I hit him with my ultimate. Luckily, he did not vanish that. And this is massive, but this is also scary. He has 6 skill points. That means he has instant spark, and then during his time in instant spark, he'll be able to build up another skill point. Unless they changed that. I'm not sure if they changed instant sparking building skill points. Being able to build skill points in instant spark. I'm not sure if they changed that. But Trunks almost has enough for instant spark as well. Yep. And this is really tough. This is really tough for me. And again, some people will say, oh, just use, use full power charge with Gohan. That's still not really enough. I'd rather have Wild Sense so I could approach, and if I mess up, Wild Sense will save me. Whereas if I do full power charge, I don't have anything to defend me. And people will be like, oh, then that's a skill issue. Not really. Elwa is just a really good player as well. I just, like I keep saying, I just told him to cheese me. But when I do engage, it's... And what's saving me here, watch this. He keeps using Explosive Wave, but I'm staying close to him. The reason being is because we're at the ceiling. So when he knocks me back, I'm able to just re-engage instantly. So I get really lucky. And I didn't know that about Explosive Wave, that if you're at the ceiling, that you stay in the engagement with him.
Switch your character, yeah.
So that was really funny. And winning those few engagements, getting those few engagements, probably helped me a ton gaining back the momentum. I finally got his Roshi out, his weaker characters out. Usually with these really strong meta characters that are a thing now, you want to damage them enough to the point where you force them to switch out their weaker characters, and then you put the moves on their weaker characters. But here we are trying to abuse the last 60 seconds of the health bar glitch, because I told him we're going to treat this like ranked, do everything you can, and he's going to do the same thing. I'm trying to pressure him to keep him from doing it. He does it, brings back in his MUI Goku. Probably a huge risk. He should have brought in Trunks first. I'm talking about tech, about how to take advantage of a glitch. But if he brought out his Trunks first, he would have had more time, and then he could have switched in his MUI Goku, therefore having a full health Trunks and a full health MUI Goku. But since he brings out MUI Goku instead, he's now locked in for about, I think like 45 to 50 seconds, and that's a long time. That is a long time. You want to bring in your low DP characters out first, have them regenerate, and then bring out your high DP characters.
Oh. I could have damaged him there.
But you can see when I do engage with Elba, he's good. He's good. And I win the timeout, and I'm surprised. It's probably because he only got one character out to full health, whereas I was able to switch in Gohan, Jace, and Android 16. And then you have to just think about it. Is this an intended mechanic? This is so weird. I don't know, dude. Let me know if you guys think this is intended, because like right at 60 seconds is when it happens. Is it supposed to be a comeback mechanic? A lot of people are saying, oh, maybe it's intended because now the win condition is based off of damage. If it was based off of damage, I would have lost that game, because Elba definitely damaged me way more.
People argue my.
And here is a old gameplay from before the patch of someone doing the same thing to me, trying to zone me out. And a lot of people argue with me in my comments saying that Z-Burst dashing just eliminated neutral. There was no zoning, there was no long range game, there was no neutral in long range. There was. It's just that it wasn't as strong as it is now, and it was still very strong before. Just watch like the US East tournaments. People zoned each other out, and that's how they won, because zoning each other out was very strong. But now engaging just doesn't feel worth it, you know? But there's Schromer using an Android, full key gauge, so he could just spam Ki Blast on me all day if he needs to. I run out of ki with my King Cold. I get guard broken, I have to recover my ki. I get hard knockdown, and here's his chance to go into a Sparking Bolt. Smart move, he was able to recognize the situation. But here comes the Ki Blast spam. He knew I was gonna hold perception, good read by him. Hits me with the ultimate. Although, here's the same concept as before. Well, if this happened now, that damage would have been massively bad for me because I can't regenerate it. But now I could regenerate it at least. Well, not now, but before I was able to regenerate it. So that damage didn't really mean too much. But now if I get hit by that, that would probably be game over. Okay, he transforms with his Trunks.
Let's settle this.
And you can see, he's trying to disengage with me, but it's fine. Eventually I'll build up one key bar. And you can see, there is neutral from long range. I was just able to close the distance, and here he sidesteps me. Oh, these Vanish Words are so different. I'm not used to that. I fail at my super counter. I revenge counter him to stay in the engagement. I get him with my perception. It's a good thing I burned his skill points with his super perception. Ooh, the Z-Burst dash reset. I miss those, but it's fine. I don't need those. I like doing them though. And you can see he's disengaging. The Ki Blasts do a lot of damage. They do a lot of damage. They did a lot of damage before. You guys could see how much time is being stalled out by the health regen and just the Vanish Wars. And yet, we're still in the same situation of games ending in a timeout. And like I said earlier, it's because the gameplay is more passive. Oh, this video was originally supposed to be for a Kaba Spotlight video, but since they changed everything, I'm probably not gonna do that or use this footage. So I'm just using this footage to compare how zoning and Ki Blast spamming was before compared to now. And you can see I'm having a much easier time dealing with this than I did currently. But just because I'm having an easier time doesn't mean it's easy overall. You can see he's forced to throw hands with me at certain times. Nice super counter by him. He closes the distance with the switch. Stop him from using instant spark. If it were in today's game, he would have got that instant spark off. And you can just see how much time this Vanish War is taking. But just compare, like this Shomer's goal is to disengage and constantly spam me with Ki Blasts and play the long range game. And you could just compare this gameplay to Elwa's game, to me going against Elwa. The amount of engagements I could get despite the zoning and Ki Blast spam. It's a lot easier to engage, and it should be that way. It shouldn't be, and I do get punished for engaging from time to time. And you can see there's neutral game. He was able to zone me out and set up a switch. And now I'm just forced to charge a lot more ki.
Keep on trying.
And you can see my zebra stashing is not successful every time. A lot of people in my comments are saying, oh, zebra stashing was very powerful or too strong. Maybe for the combo loops, but you only had a limited amount of those before you ran through your ki. I think a better fix for zebra stashing would be to have it distance-based ki consumption. So a distance-based ki consumption for zebra stashing would have been best. That's what they did for the burst dash attack or whatever. When you follow up after a smash attack and then you press triangle to burst behind them. It's distance-based now. They should have done the same thing for zebra stashing. So if you try to follow up from a really far distance, it will cost you about 2 ki bars to do that. I don't know. Let me know if you guys think of a better fix for it. I like discussing what is a better fix, but even then, we're not developers, so it doesn't matter. And you can see he's forced to throw hands with me because he knows I'm going to try to switch. If he just plays the distance game here, I'm just going to switch on him and regenerate my health. So he's forced to engage. Whereas now, you don't have to engage because whatever damage you get with your Ki Blast will be meaningful. And you can see we're forced to throw hands now because if he backs up and just throws Ki Blasts, I will switch and stop him from zoning me out. And the game ends in a timeout, just like it does now. Before, games would end in a timeout because a lot of time was spent in Vanish Wars, and the health regen from switching would just make it last longer. But games still end in a timeout because fights are just so much more passive now. And that's fine, you could see I've adapted to it. But so many people are just like arguing with me saying, no, it's not passive, it's so much more aggressive now. Then explain to me why my games are still ending in a timeout, despite my opponent using a 3-character team, and despite that health regenning is not as strong as it used to be when you switch your character. It's because the gameplay is very passive. And also, not to mention, Vanish Wars don't take like 30 seconds each time. So you're saving almost like 2 to 3 minutes not doing health regen and spending a lot of time in Vanish Wars. You're saving a lot of time, and yet my games still end in a timeout. Because for the millionth time, fights are just more passive now. That's just how it is. Maybe it isn't for you. I don't know what rank you are, but I feel like in the high ranks, it's just very passive because people understand it's not worth engaging. It's just not. You have to be very careful with engaging now. And that's that, you know? Like, people will probably interpret this as complaining on my part, but it's not. It's just a fact. At least it's a fact to me. More so an opinion, whatever. It is what it is. I've adapted, as you can tell. I have a lot more to learn, and as I learn, I will teach you guys. But if you guys learned something, like and subscribe. Have a good night.